Hello everyone, this is the Masked Analyst. I just got finished watching redskulled video in which he said that people were making threats against him and calling his house and threatening his family, and that he was therefore pulling his videos and that he wouldn't post again. I have some information that may or may not shed some light on this. First of all, if what he is saying is true, then I'm really sorry to see this happen, and I hope that he gets in touch with the FBI and the people in YouTube. YouTube obviously can help him get the IP address of the person who posted the threatening video. I know he says that he's got the ability to do that himself, and I'll discuss that in a minute, but I'm a little skeptical about that. But if what he says happened really did happen, then I hope they nab the bastards who did this and that nothing happens to him. However, I'm very skeptical of this account. There are several videos that he's made in the past few weeks that have caused me to question the Red Skull's credibility. Now, maybe he was making these videos as a joke. I'm not sure. Maybe he intended this to be satire. I don't know. But he posted a video a couple of weeks ago saying that he could run a Perl script and be able to grab the IP addresses of other people who have posted videos on YouTube. That he could get the IP of anyone's account from YouTube. And that sounded kind of funny to me. And I'm not the only one. I'm guessing about a dozen people or so posted skeptical comments in his video challenging him to back up what he said. In fact, 2 or 3 people directly said, "Hey, send me an email telling me what my video is," and basically calling him full of shit. Well, not too far later, he made another video which described a huge conspiracy theory, really crazy stuff. It involved, he said that an alien spaceship had been captured off of in Area 51, and that the government and all industry were hiding these big secrets of alien technology, and this conspiracy was being controlled by the Freemasons. Really crazy stuff. And he said that he was working on a project based on this alien technology that would make us energy independent forever, and that the industries were controlling the alien secrets that would lead to, amongst other things, a cure for cancer. What's absolutely amazing is that there were about a dozen or so people who commented on this story, and not one of them questioned it, as far as I could tell. And a moment's thought, he said that the massive corporate cover-up was going on to keep these secrets secret because it would somehow hurt their corporate profits. And this just seems kind of funny to me. I mean, if you were a corporation and you had access to these technologies, wouldn't you bring them to market and try to sell them? It just doesn't make sense. Furthermore, it would require the owners of the corporations, if any of them got cancer, they'd be suppressing information that could possibly cure their cancer or the cancers of the families. Now, I don't know how greedy you are, but if you got cancer, you're going to want to bring this technology to fruition. And finally, if you think about it, this involved a grand conspiracy that must have taken hundreds or thousands of people who were in on this conspiracy, and they've kept this secret for years and years and years. Come on, the more people you have in on a conspiracy, the more likely it is that someone's going to rat, that someone will spill the beans. There's no way that this type of information would be kept secret. But according to him, this was kept secret because the Freemasons had control of all the media and everybody. So this was kind of weird. And the funny thing is, he kept smoking, I forget whether it was a pipe or a cigar. I think it was a pipe throughout the video. It's almost as if he symbolically was telling us that he was really just blowing smoke. finally, a few days ago, he put up a video in which he claimed that the boring dispatcher had sent him an email asking what had happened to Filthy Whore. Filthy Whore had been posted in, I guess, a week or two, and according to the Red Skull, the boring dispatcher sent him an email questioning about this. In response, the Red Skull supposedly tracked her down and found her obituary in the paper. Now, I think that this video was so far over the top that we were supposed to know that it was all a satire or a joke or a game or what have you. Nonetheless, he did state specifically that this was all inspired by an email from the boring dispatcher. The boring dispatcher saw this video and he posted a video response which said basically, "Hey Red Skull, you're full of shit. I never sent you an email, you're just full of crap and that never happened." So, after seeing all this, I really began to question his credibility. Very bright, very entertaining guy, and no doubt I could learn a lot from him if I could figure out what was fact and what was fiction. So I sent him an email about 3 or 4 days ago telling him that, hey, can you back up some of the stuff you said? Basically, quite a few people have challenged you on the IP thing. Can you really get people's IP from a Perl script? And if you could send me my IP within 24 hours after you read this, I will go post a message in the comments section of your video saying that yes, indeed, you can do this. And if you can't do this, then I'm going to make a video in basically expose you, or at least question whether what you're saying is truthful or not. He sent a very defensive email back saying, well, I can certainly tell you your IP, and he put your in capital letters. And he said, go ahead and make a video and feel free to unsubscribe from me. The tone was very defensive, and maybe I'm reading between the lines, but the way he said it, it sounded like it was almost a challenge that if I did make that video, that he would expose my IP publicly. Now, I could just be reading into things, who knows. But in any case, he said this because he was upset that I gave him a 24-hour notice as if I were his boss, and he didn't like my terms. So I replied and I said, well, I was just wanting to get the story right. If you could put up, give me my IP, then I would certainly be happy to do what I could to vindicate you, and that if 24 hours wasn't a reasonable time, could you suggest what you consider to be reasonable? And he never responded to this. So you all know already that the Red Skull had lost a $1,000 bet with Renetto, and what you didn't know is the story of my email correspondence with him, and that I was going to use some of his videos to question his integrity. Well, funny thing. Just as I was about to start making the video, or actually I probably would have waited another day or two, but all the evidence of his questionable claims has suddenly disappeared. Now, I don't know any more than you do whether this means that he's turning tail and running because he doesn't want people to start questioning his integrity, or if this really did happen. If this did happen, then I would highly encourage him to get in touch with the FBI. Now, filing a lawsuit against the individuals is all well and good, but if he really thinks that if they don't respond to a lawsuit they're going to be thrown in jail, then he is delusional. Any lawsuit that he files will be a civil suit, and if people don't show up or defend themselves, the worst that can happen to them is that they will have judgment awarded against them and they will have to pay a fine. He by himself does not have the ability to make people go to jail. He can't do that. He has to get the authorities involved. So if this is true, I suggest he get in touch with the FBI. I also suggest that he get in touch with YouTube so that they can turn over the IP address of the people who made this video to him. Yeah, I know he claims that he's got that ability, but I don't buy it. You know, the trouble with telling a bunch of whoppers is that someday you may need help. Someday something really bad might happen to you, and then when you go and complain about it, people might not believe you. It's the old story of crying wolf. So I'm hoping, in this case, I'm hoping he really is crying wolf, and I hope that these threats aren't real. I tried to do a search on YouTube under Red Skull or redskulled, and I used different combinations, and I could come up with nothing. So perhaps there was a video threatening him and it was removed. I don't know. But I have seen absolutely no evidence that what he's telling me is the truth. And so whether he is telling the truth or just blowing smoke like he did in his government plague video, I will let each of you decide that for yourselves. This has been the Masked Analyst, under and in.